About that breaking news happening right now in North Sacramento, where the shutdown of Sacramento's Camp Resolution has turned chaotic.
So in the last few hours, police had to be called in as those who had been staying there were required to leave. Now, Erin Heft has been out there all morning. Erin, we hear lots of yelling. We see the police tape that's gone up. So what's happening right now?
Absolute chaos right now. That's what's happening. So right now, Sacramento police as well as Sacramento City Fire, they breached the inside of Camp Resolution. We've seen people come out in cuffs. We've seen tractors taking belongings out of Camp Resolution. Take a look at this video. I want to show you this to you really quick. This is what it looked like as they breached the inside of Camp Resolution. Oh, we don't have that video. Let me describe it to you then. So circular saws taking down the two gates here at Camp Resolution. This after the people who lived inside who decided not to leave. They took all morning long and they barricaded themselves in, taking barbed wire, hooking it around many of the gates. There's this moment with a man in a black mask. He perched himself on top of the gate. He was joined by several other people, and he got in that group getting in an argument with not just police, not just the city, but also the homeless union themselves that support the people inside. They're even at one point prior to the breach being made, they actually weren't letting anyone inside, including healthcare workers that were trying to help the people that had barricaded themselves inside. This an exceptionally hectic morning. So let me give you some context. This is the last day here after what seemed like endless conversations and negotiation. People, they were told that they needed to pack themselves and all of their belongings and get off the city's property before or as of today's date. Now, the eviction notice, that was on today, but the lease, it ended on the 10th of August. They were actually given a 15-day grace period, at which point they were trying to get all of their belongings out. Now, when our crew got here this morning, people were moving their belongings out peacefully, a lot of people. And I was here yesterday morning, and people were trying to take all of their belongings out methodically. Everyone's moved. It's very difficult. But as of about 6:30 this morning, tensions, they started to rise. 4 police officers arrived. They were just the start of the massive presence here on scene. We have police, 2 areas barricaded off. It's also barricaded at the far end of this. We've seen riot shields. It's quite a bit at this moment.
So, Erin, one of the things that you mentioned earlier, and we kind of want to give some perspective here for our viewers, is there was also an attorney there that was kind of talking about what their plans are at this point. Can you talk more about that?
Yeah, great question, Brandy. So the attorney, the goal today, he told us that the Camp Resolution has filed a temporary restraining order and also an emergency injunction trying to halt this where it's at today. Now, it's to be seen if that's going to be successful or not, but that has been filed, and they're trying to halt police where they're at, but we're actively watching belongings being taken out. We saw people forcibly removed. There's a lot of hostility behind the gate, and as you can hear, there's a lot of hostility outside of the gate as well, especially as they've made this perimeter larger and larger today. And there's a lot of blame, actually, not just from the city to the union, but the union to the city, and the people inside obviously angry at all of those involved, trying to find what happens next for them, because all of the people we've talked to today, they're trying to find a place to move to. A lot of people actually moving their cars out this morning, but those cars, they're not running. It took 5 to 10 people to push each one of those cars out, and those people, that was their home. They're trying to move those cars half a mile or so in each direction. It's so complicated.
Okay, so Erin, clarify who's out there. The shot is starting to zoom in. We see obviously the police officers are out there, but who else is there responding from the city?
So we have many departments from the city. We also have the Sacramento City Homeless Union. We have Sacramento City Fire Department. We have Sacramento Police Department. We have every media you can think of within our region. And we're also seeing some social service and medical resources off to our right, but it doesn't specify exactly who they're with other than just under the umbrella of the city.
there is assistance that has shown up for the people who are having to make this change this morning. All right, Erin, thank you.
And this is nothing new, because they've had assistance come for the last 15 days,
right.
And also the assistance that's come, they've also tried to give them, the people who live inside, options as to where they can shelter once this closed down. This coming to an end is no surprise. It's 15 days coming, and these conversations have happened really for months.
Correct. All right, Erin, thank you. We appreciate that, and we will continue to follow this breaking news story as it develops. If you want to get the very latest sent straight to your phone, make sure you download our KCRA app and have those push alerts turned on.
All right.